In this Map Suite MVC Edition sample app walkthrough, we're going to show you how to use the simplify method to simplify features. So if you're not familiar with simplification, it's taking a very detailed feature and kind of dumbing it down, for lack of a better term, or making it more simplified so it doesn't have as many vertices or points in it. And so there's several reasons why you might want to do that. At higher scales, you may not need the level of detail, and you may want added performance, or you may want to simplify it for a variety of other reasons. But the Map Suite gives you those APIs to do these types of operations. So here we've got a sample app where we're just showing the United States. We picked the one feature, and we've got a couple drop-down boxes over here. And this is the tolerance, or the factor, the amount you want to simplify. So the higher the number, the more simplification that's going to take effect. And then we've got two simplification types, and these are two different algorithms that you can use. One is TopologyPeserving, and the other is DouglasPeucker. So let's go ahead and click the simplify button, and you can see the results of what happens. So now we've simplified a great deal, and you can see like Florida is now just a spike, and Alaska's got these jagged edges. So you wouldn't really want to simplify it this much, but this is just illustrating how the simplification does work. If we go to DouglasPeucker and we even simplify more, you can see the more we simplify, if a larger factor, there's some differences, and we can even go to that extreme to where they're hardly recognizable as the original features. So this can be very powerful for both area shapes, and we also have it for lines. So if you've got some very detailed geometries or features and you want to simplify them down for to take up less space or to show at higher scales, this is a good tool to do it. So let's dig right into the code so you can see the APIs we used in this sample. To get started, let's look at the code that's executed when the application is loaded. So the first thing we're doing here is adding the map to the page, setting the current extent, setting the map unit, and then we're going to set up our data here in this section. So we're going to load our data into the static overlay. And we've got a shapefile feature layer here, which is actually country 02 that we're going to load up. And we're not actually going to add that to the map because, as you noticed, we just had the United States being displayed. So we just want to get that one feature out so we can use it to simplify. So to do that, we're going to open up that shapefile feature layer, and we're going to do our query tools to find the United States. And we happen to know that United States is ID 135. Of course, if you didn't know that, you could do a query based upon the name and things of that nature to get back the feature as well. So we're querying this back, and that's going to return the United States feature into here. And we decided not to get any column value names. If you wanted to, you could get all the column data back, or specify the columns you wanted. In this case, we didn't do any of them. And we're going to take that feature and then create a area-based shape out of that by using the getShape method. And we're going to close out our shapefile feature layer because we no longer need it. And we're going to add that feature that we just created to an in-memory feature layer. So we're creating that here. That's where we're going to hold our temporary feature that we're going to do the simplification on. And we're going to set up a style for that and apply it for all 20 zoom levels. Add that feature to that in-memory feature layer, and then add that layer to the map. So the end result is we've got the the one feature being displayed on the map in an in-memory feature layer. So let's take a look at the code that happens when somebody clicks the simplify button. So we'll come down here to that button, and you can see on the on click we're calling a JavaScript routine button simplify click. So let's go up here, and the first two things we do is pick the values that the user selected out of the drop-down boxes and populate some variables with them. And then we're going to do an AJAX callback to the server to actually do the simplification. So we're going to do that. Say we want the styles controller, and we want to call the simplify click routine up on the server. And we're going to pass in the values that the user selected in the drop-down boxes for tolerance and the type, so we know what algorithm to use on the server side. Once we're done, we're going to do a callback to this function here, which will redraw that static overlay and show our simplified result. So let's go to the server side now so we can see the simplification code. And here's our simplify click. And the first thing we do is check to see if our area-based shape is null. And if it is, we're going to go ahead and get a reference to our in-memory feature layer. And we called it simplification layer when we loaded that. And we're going to pull out the first shape in that. In this case, we only have one shape we're dealing with. and create that area-based shape there, or get a reference to it, I should say. Then we're going to get our the tolerance and the simplification type that the user selected from the drop-down boxes. And we're going to go ahead and get a reference to our in-memory feature layer, so when we do the simplification we can update our feature accordingly. Now that we've got our tolerance, we've converted that to a double because the simplify is going to need that in a double format instead of a string. And we're going to set the simplification type to default to DouglasPeucker, but then we're going to do a switch statement here, or case statement, to set the one that the user actually selected. So I don't remember which case. I think we did both of them, but let's say it was TopologyPeserving. So we're going to set that simplification type to that enumeration. And then down here we're creating a new multi-polygon shape, and we're setting that equal to the area-based shape and the simplified, so we're calling the simplify method off of our area-based shape, passing in the tolerance and the simplification type. So this is going to actually return the new simplified shape, leaving the original shape alone. But since we want to display the new simplified shape, we're going to take this one here, we're going to clear all the original shapes on our in-memory feature layer and add that new simplified shape to it, so it'll be rendered out to the map. So as you can see, all the magic's happening on the simplify method. It takes two parameters, tolerance and the type, which would be either TopologyPeserving or DouglasPeucker. So between those, between this code, you can see it's pretty easy to simplify features. And again, this isn't just for area shapes. You can also do it with lines, so keep that in mind as well. I hope this sample app walkthrough has been helpful for you. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact us, or you can post your questions directly on our discussion forum at thinkgeo.com/forums. Thank you for watching.